serious crime is swept under the bulging carpet of shameless, testicleless Daniel Carbon, a disgrace to his once proud office, who will soon retire in shame. So you mighty warriors and freedom fighters who today are seen as villains, the Salisbury Negmaro and revolutionaries, history will record you as Dominica's liberators. You may not get a public holiday in your name as Martin Luther King or Rosa Parks, but fight on to the bitter end, you proud warriors. While castrated union leaders hide under the conflict of interest government contracts, or even placed under multiple boards to disguise their bribe money. Take heart, liberators and freedom fighters. Don't give in, don't give up, don't relent. Fight to the bitter end. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brother Aniluge. The words of solidarity. We also have Mr. Linton in the house. We have Mr. Louis and others to make their contribution tonight. But we'll go to, before I do that, let me say that Dr. Dion George stands in solidarity with the people of Salisbury. Dion wrote it via Facebook, and others are bowing. Thank you for your support as we continue today's activity. I will go to the podium to share a few words with us. Former leader of the opposition, former leader of the Animals Party, former father of Marigot, Mr. Leonard Linton.
Good night. Nice to be here in Resistance Square. Mr. Louis, night. God bless you. Somebody said earlier that Marigot and Salisbury are joined at the heart of Dominica. You look at the map, you'll see the evidence of that. And so, it's always a pleasure to stand in Salisbury to talk with the people of Salisbury about Salisbury's leadership role for the better Dominica. Because for us to get to that better Dominica, this resistance movement against bad governance must succeed. And Salisbury and Marigot are right at the forefront of that struggle to bringing the people of Dominica to the voice of their God. You will see on the stone the dates on which the people of Salisbury were tear-gassed. What you don't see on that stone is another date that is perhaps equally significant. It is the date on which the Salisbury people were supposed to have gone to court for the injustice against them. And the Lord Almighty rained down stones on Dominica like stones have never been rained down on Dominica before. There were small stones, there were medium-sized stones, there were big stones, there were boulders, boulders that human beings altogether could not throw by themselves, but God was throwing them down on Dominica the very day that the criminal enterprise was seeking to bring Salisbury people before the court because they had stood up for access, stood up for protecting their means of livelihood. They had stood up for their independence and providing for themselves. And you know, you have to take note of criminal enterprises. And you have to understand terrorism and what it means. Because the Prime Minister of this country loves to talk about who is terrorist and who is economic terrorist and who is terrorist. Tell him that Bowie people say using expired tear gas on people fighting for their rights is terrorism. And tell him that Bowie people say sending police officers to tear gas sleeping people in their homes is terrorism. And so this government, this administration, is behaving like a terrorist organization. The way it terrorizes people and communities it does not like. Communities that do not vote for it are terrorized, they are harassed, they are intimidated, like Salisbury has been, like Marigot has been. And if you want to find more resilient people in the world that you can find in Salisbury and you can find in Marigot, you have to take a trip all the way across the world to go down to the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. Nobody in the world is more resilient than the people of Bowie and the people of Marigot, with the exception of the Palestinians in Gaza Strip. Let us say that. Because they like to go and see what I see. When I came to Bowie and I said, Bowie people not taking tear gas, I want to tear gas people. Why do you want to tear gas? And you know, today we are seeing the terrorist behavior of the government and the government's alignment of itself with terrorists, hurting the image of Dominica. They like to talk about who is black eye in Dominica, who is giving the country a bad name around the world. Look at where our bad name is coming from now. You have agents of the government citizenship by investment program in police custody now. In police custody. Why are they in police custody? Accused of murder. Accused of a double murder, a gruesome murder of upstanding Canadian citizens known for their outstanding work in technology and sustainable development around the world. Citizens that we in Dominica were proud to call our friends and our family members because of the outstanding work that they did and their humanitarian character and the way in which they lived among us in Dominica, especially in the Salisbury community, helping people, building our sustainable development profile, giving us an eco-tourism flagship like no other passport-selling hotel had given us in Dominica. But they didn't take passport money to do it. They did it with their own savings. They came with their investments. These are the kinds of model investors that we expected would come when we invited the world to come and invest in our beautiful nature island. But because of the terrorist nature of this administration, they could not give those outstanding investors the benefit and the protection of the rule of law in Dominica. And so they ended up being victims. Government protected to terrorize, to harass tourism providers in Dominica, taxi drivers, hikers, tour operators, the staffers and owners of the Salisbury Ridge Eco Resort, terrorized by the suspect, the CBI agent, over many years. Nobody thought, nobody in the police force thought that his gun should be taken away from him. But when James upstanding Dominican citizen who has demonstrated only professionalism in the use of a firearm, has never brandished it in public, has never threatened anybody with it. The police took it from him. And Oliver Roach would have lost his firearm because they wanted to take it from him when he accompanied me to the opening of the health center in Marigot. But Oliver Roach said, no, Leonard Clinton is in Marigot, he's good. And I'm coming inside to have to take my gun and hold my gun. And that's why he has his gun today, because they wanted to find an excuse to take it from him. As they took Wayne James's gun from him. But they didn't think it was necessary to take the gun from the CBI agent who was harassing and terrorizing people, threatening them with his gun, setting his dogs on them, blocking the roads unlawfully, the public road at Montrouge. Those are the people that they protect and defend. And they come down on the side of those rogues and vagabonds and criminals and terrorists in the whole community while they are harassing decent citizens, whether those decent citizens are here in Bowie, whether they are in Marigot, or whether they come to us from distant lands like Canada. That is the story of us in Dominica today. And I came to tell you tonight, be of good courage and hold fast to your responsibility of leadership for a better Dominica through this resistance that you're championing in the area. You see that? Good. I love you. Noble responsibility you have to lead Dominica. Think of the significance of what you're doing here this evening and the unveiling of the plaque, Resistance Square, and the stone that forever will remind the people of the unfortunate terrorist tear gas incidents. They came to you on the morning of the election of 2019. You know what that was about? That was about intimidating you, preventing you from going to the polls to make sure they didn't win. And they didn't win in 2019. They didn't even win in the sham election in 2022 either. And for that, Bowie has to be prepared to continue to stand, because the love is not like love is increasing in this criminal enterprise for the people of Bowie. It's getting worse. But you know, something about resistance and the work of God's people is that He always finds a way to help them. And the people of Bowie stand tall. They stand tall on their ingenuity, their skill, and their self-reliance to move on by leaps and bounds, and to continue to do God's work and to do the work of the good people of Dominica. So, these are just a few words. We're around. Dominica needs you more than it has ever needed you in the past. We say, here Dominica, my true confession is what I did not do. I watched you suffer, for my allegiance was to someone else, not you. Your advantages, many in number. The patriots are few, but it's no wonder we are where we are. We did not stand with you. And the song by Dice goes on to say, now we're harvesting poverty, fruits of our misplaced loyalty. And so Bowie tells its brothers and sisters around Dominica, we must come back to country first, each and everybody, beginning with me. I love you. I thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Linton. I was going to Mr. Wee, but the lady came, I went to a lady and she had to say a few. No, that's something lavish you got to destroy. It is a sati, lady destroy. Put your hands together and welcome Miss 84-year-old Miss Bertie Vidal.
It is just a number. Good evening. I am Bertil Vidal, better known as T. December 2023, it was 3 o'clock. I didn't know exactly time, 2019. While I was sleeping around 3 o'clock, my granddaughter woke me up. Granny, Granny, look, the house catching fire. I say no, because I put out everything. She said to me, yes, Granny, get up. The house catching fire. When I get up, I went in the kitchen, nothing. A little minute I hear, T, open the door, we're dying, open the door. When I opened the door, around 20 people just dashed on me. When I opened the door, fire, tear gas, everything inside the house. Inside the house. We're inside the house, we still cannot stay inside the house. I call my daughter. I said, Maso, we have a tear gas. She told me, you have milk there? I said, yes. She said to me, open the milk and just give it to them, wash their face, and take water and wet all the louvers, all the curtain, and you will be all right. C'est pas des petits affaires, no, madam. My great-grandson, a little boy, his mother running. T opened the door. Look, JJ dying. He was only 2.5 years. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? At this time, you coming and kill us? What we do? We haven't done anything. Anything. But one day, Scary have to pay for it. He and his acolytes. When you say Scary have to go, but Hagan, the one that carrying the $1 billion, we have to hold him first. We have to hold him first for him to tell us where our $1 billion is, because he's here controlling the $1 billion. And when we hold him, he will tell us where Scary put it and where he have it. Good night, my darling. We're going fast.
Thank you very much. So I was just looking at my following the live, and somebody asking where they help the young men and young people. When the young people, they are wrong. One thing they don't do, most of them, they don't talk. A lot of people in Salisbury don't talk. A few of us in Salisbury talk. A lot of people in Salisbury don't talk. They are wrong, they give support, they are wrong the place. They play their role when they have to. That's one thing I like about my Salisbury guys who stood up in the fight and ensured that Salisbury remained. And that square we rename Resistance Square is because of the hard work of our young men and women who stood up for our community. The gentleman who was already Salisbury, I'll say, you want to say a few words before we call Mr. Louis. First, of course, Mr. Plutus just want to say a few words of solidarity before we get to wind up.
Yes. Good night, Salisbury. Good night to the people of Dominica and beyond. Boots on the ground. Tonight, I don't have enough time to say too much, but when I start talking, it's plenty. Tonight, I want to go back to 1979. And 1979, when the past president, Charles Salisbury, was the man that was teaching Dominicans their rights. Salisbury, tonight, I want you to sing with me a song Charles Salisbury teaches us to sing. Salisbury tonight, and that song is, "We shall overcome someday." Let us start, and then I will speak. We shall overcome. overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Deep in my heart, I know we will. We shall overcome someday. Salisbury, I want to tell you, Salisbury, I'm not a young man again. But when they were first pitching that road, I worked on that road as a young man. And Charles Salisbury was representing me as the union leader. And that's when I learned that song, when we had to go and stand for our rights against the government of the day. We had to stand up, and the government had to listen. So when Salisbury stand up and listen, stand up for your rights, the government had to listen. But I'll tell you something about this government and the people of Salisbury. This government is jealous. I say jealous, jealousy. They're jealous of the people of Salisbury. Salisbury people have an ambition, and Salisbury people have a zeal to move and develop Dominica, not Salisbury, Dominica. Because if we have to talk about a model, we must say Salisbury is #1 in the model to earn our own bread and to do what we want. Right. This government is against you, and their plan is against Dominicans that are willing to pattern you. So Marigot is no different, because Marigot and Salisbury have something similar in the pattern. It's hardworking people, they send their people to school and they become bright heads. And they work in their garden, and when you believe it's just a farmer, is a teacher, is a doctor, is a whatever, but they're still planting in their backyard. So that is Salisbury people nature. Because my mother came from Salisbury. And when people used to challenge her, she used to say, "Oh, you don't know nothing." Moi, c'est yon se mouton bataille là où ça. Là où nous mettons tête nous dans une direction, rien pas qu'à changer ça. She never sent us to beg. She never sent us to steal. She taught us to work hard. And that's why boots on the ground is that boots on the ground. Okay? So tonight, I am in solidarity with you. And what I want to say to Salisbury people, you will, at someday, by the power of God, overcome that cruelty and brutality that was done to my people. It hurts. And we will never stop. Tonight I'm proud to be here, to stand with you in what you're doing to future of the young people. And the young Salisbury people, I'm proud of you, because I know Salisbury people, when you say Jean Barry, they mean something. And we will go around Dominica, and we will let Dominica know that we mean to do better with our living. So this is it. I don't want to say too much. I just want to say, Salisbury, keep standing. I am standing with you, and until God do us part, I'm standing in Salisbury.
Thank you very much, Mr. Oliver Watts, to those boots on the ground. And you hear his mother is from Salisbury, so he had that Valley connection. Was from Salisbury. We also have in the house with us, our parliamentary representative is here, leader of the opposition is Mrs. Jesper Paul Victor, she's in the audience, and also the Senator Laurie Victor is also there as well. We'll call right now to speak to us another elderly gentleman from Salisbury, hardworking farmer. And the reason why I am happy that Mr. Louis is there, he's a farmer, and we were protesting because of our farm rules. And Mr. Louis is here to tell us about his experience. Our second court matter that we have for 2019 is in the name of Mr. Louis et al. And the rest of the people of Salisbury. So, welcome to the podium, Mr. Whitnell Louis.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. My name, the only name in the world, spelled W-I-T-N-E-L-L. The only name in the world that's spelled W-I-T-N-E-L-L. Whitney. Hated by many people, loved by many people. I did what I have to do, and I will continue to do what I have to do. I was born here. I was born here in Salisbury. Omina was my mother, Tammy was my father. And I know what hardship is. I know what poverty is. I know what hunger is. And I fight my way. And the Lord has opened doors for me and blessed my people. Salisbury people have to stand. We cannot bow down to no one. Yes. We will not and we cannot ask nobody. We have to work for our daily bread without depending on nobody. Nobody. I witnessed Louis standing in front of you. I am a little bit quiet, not because of my age. I'm 91 years of age. 91 way up. Today, all the rain, I make almost 1,000 oranges and grapefruits. With the rain, I made almost 1,000 oranges and grapefruits. I am respected by many. Salisbury and Maricot and Wesley with Skerry is fighting to take away from us. Especially Wesley. I wish Wesley revolt. I wish Wesley take back their land. Death or life. Just as Israel is fighting for their land. If you know your Bible, Israel is the only nation that has a plan for their land, a map. And Israel is the only nation God gives land. No Russia, no America, no China, no nobody else. Israel has their land by God. Given grace. And I will not go to the history. It is a long story, biblical story. But let me tell you, if you want to destroy Israel, there are three things you have to do. If Russia wants to destroy Israel, if China wants to destroy Israel, if Iran wants to destroy Israel, and if the whole world wants to destroy Israel, they have three things to do. One, they have to dry every grain of sand in the system from Europe, Africa, America, and Australia. All this system disappear. That is number one. Number two, they have to count the stars that are in the heavens. Number two. Number three, they have to put the apple of God and try to put the apple of God. These are impossible. And Israel, the land boundary is River Euphrates to the River Nile in Egypt. And it is square. It is not in a triangle or a square. It will survive. Pray for them. Don't go Israel. Don't go with Hamas and get busting it and whatever. They have to fall. But God is merciful to them. And God did build that nation because of one man named Abraham. Okay. Do you know how about Hermina in Portsmouth? Hermina Vidal, speaking of 295. Well, she is a very intelligent person. But I tell you, I am Habakkuk. I am Habakkuk. Hermina Vidal. And we sat down, we have a plan. We need a plan. But the plan, the solid plan, is marry God to Salisbury. We joined marry God. That's why when I was talking in 295, I said marry God and Salisbury as two sleeping giants. If marry God and Salisbury don't give it up, Salisbury don't guys up in nowhere. Salisbury people, class, give yourself a class in hand tonight. You stand firm. And you have, I already get 8 hours. My 4th hour I get it from Mr. Edison James. My 1st hour. And my last hour I get it from the government last week. Are you with me? My last hour, I got an hour. And when I sat down in the president conference room, Mr. Skelly came in and he stood up and said, I am glad to see Mr. Whitney there. You agree with that? Let me see it again. Let me change, put another word here. I am glad to see Mr. Louis, my friend, there. My dear friend, I want something to be scary, friend. Do I want scary to be my friend? Scary called me his friend. I wanted to cry. I can't have this scary friend. I am not talking about scary because my son is #1 scary man in the political. I am not, because he will believe only telling me things about him. Without all and I will have not a word about skeletal politics. Simple like that. My last one. Now they give me an award. Mr. Platt, come on. I can take 2 more minutes?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I asked him for 2 or 3 more minutes. Okay, thank you. Right. Scary? No. I want to see Scary, and that's why I'm still there. I do not know whether I live for another day. But I would like to be here to see Scary arrest. Scary. I would love of Jesus to be there to the Scary arrest. I passed Maria, I passed Erica. Maria take everything I worked for my entire life. I don't look, pick up my children, history book, nothing about them, nothing about my first wife, nothing about anything. I was sick. I was badly sick. Maria took everything I had. I just did that. And then I go to the village council for a plus, for a tarpaulin. The two girls told me that I am got a roof over my head. I cannot get a tarpaulin. I go down to Portsmouth, asking for my fertilizer quota. The gentleman told me, Mr. Maglock told me that my name is not there for fertilizer. And up to this, I have received nothing from Scaring or from the government. And then he called me his friend. Is that a friend, my dear? And then they give me an award, give me a hotel to go and enjoy myself, and they given me a pillar. I haven't collected the pillar yet. That is what I get since Maria and Erica. Dominica, stand on your own. Don't depend on people. Marry God and Salisbury. They are the breadbasket of Dominica. And if we fail, Dominica fails. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Louis, for your contribution, not just to Salisbury, but to Dominica and agriculture. Thank you very much. We will go quickly to another big farmer, a farmer that was kidnapped in his house early morning on June 11, 2015. Ladies and gentlemen, big welcome. One of our big fellows in Salisbury, proud father, Mr. Louis Vanti Vidal. As I say, we put your hands together for Mr. Vanti Vidal.
Good night, everybody. Welcome to Resistance Square. Welcome to Resistance Square in Salisbury. That's where we saw and things happen. That's where we were the early morning time when we were fighting for Feeder Road. Because why we want to fight for Feeder Road, we don't want to be like the rest of Donald and who are always wrong there for. So we cannot afford to pay no taxes. I started on myself first, I have to pay for free vehicles insurance every year and license. Not about fertilizer and all that things. So we in Salisbury, we pay no taxes like anybody pay their taxes. So we asking for a fair share of our tax. So we will not back down for no man, no nigger. We will not back down for no nigger. That come yesterday and have work yet. And for. We will not back down for them. Colonel Gaddafi, all those men there, and they go down to nothing less than to them. So I want everyone to keep courage that with God, the power of God, we will see what will happen in time to come. And I want to make it abundantly clear. I'm not a party man. I'm a country man. And I stand for my village home. And I want to tell people again, I will not leave my young fellow men in Salisbury and them working and not to advise them what to do to stand firm and to be independent. Because being independent is very sweet and very nice. There are people who cannot talk because they're not independent. And that is what spirits know. That is why when we ask them for a rolling go out in our feet, they'll give it to us our bridge. And they come with meeting and say, going to give us our bridge and go out in about 7-6 years now, and nothing has not been happening. Look all now when you go up and look in the heights of Salisbury, we cannot see where to drive. Bush cover the whole road. and you want us to sit down there and take all that crap from you, and after pay your taxes, and when you finish, you're going to tell people something like trouble. Because you cripple after you cripple castles everywhere. You let them come forth, destroy the richest people. But we stand up, we are the resilient people of Dominica Salisbury. We are. And we will not get intimidated by that man. He will make us fret. And let me tell you something. We will not be afraid of you, my boss man. You can send a riot squad, you can send their squad, you can send any squad, we will not afraid you. And what you have to do for us is give us back our freedom of transport and not being to having. Okay? And another thing I have to say to people of Salisbury, let us remain united. Those people who are more blessed in Salisbury, let us visit the elderly. Let us go through the poor to take our time and go through the vision, visit the elderly and people who are not well and who are unfortunate and but not the less fortunate people around them. And give to them what God has given to us. Because we are blessed people. And not forgetting those young farmers in Salisbury as I care for them. Those of us who have the experience in agriculture, let us keep them and teach them more and more to continue growing in the speed that we have. So the day we close our eyes, we die. It will continue. The legacy will continue. My friend, I don't want to be too long at this because they may all to speak about us. So I thank everybody and welcome to this. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yes.
No, we were waiting for you to close because you said you'll be there. I researched it a bit. I want to thank you, Mr. Vanti, Vidal, for your contribution. Very short and to the point. And you understand the type of passion we have here. I remember one just after Erica, a farmer said to the government, we don't want the supplies, the real supplies. Give it to the other communities, just open our road for us. We'll go to our farm, we'll have food. And that is what Salisbury is all about. Hard-working men and women. And tonight I am proud to be here as we summon Resistance Square. And we want the other people of Dominica to understand how important it is to us as a community and how it is important to Dominica as well. Because the resistance that we put up in Salisbury is for Dominica as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know the vote of thanks have to be said by a gentleman that spoke earlier, Mr. Vidal. I'm going to call him to give the vote of thanks after why our activities there today. Mr. Vidal.
Good night again, people of Salisbury, and all those who are with us tonight. And just before I say thank you to all of us, there's something that strikes me in terms of the field roads. What we have, and people have been saying things as to the farmers, as I still do farming. And I told you earlier, it's scary to drive up the heights of Salisbury. You basically have to keep your hand on the horn. All right? But some people have said in the village, you know, the thing is, no matter where you are on this earth, there are those who will unfortunately be against you and they don't even know why. When somebody says to you, why can't the farmers, well, let me put it differently. There was one person from Salisbury who said, well, the farmers, the very farmers who have to toil and spray and clear their plots, why can't they clean the road, cut the grass and do the drains? No, the answer that was given back to the individual, understand what I'm saying? Peter is speaking. Well, why don't you, those people, go into work in Roseau? Why don't you clean the highway? In your own pharmacy. This is not, the road Smart spoke about is not a farm access road. This is a feeder road. This is a main road. In other words, you can drive from Salisbury, go up here and end up in Mero. And he said that earlier, I saw those coasters pass through Kiber Road and ending in Salisbury Village with tourists. So it is a feeder road, a main road, and that is the responsibility of the state. All right? But I want to say to us tonight, thank you so very much, thank you for God is good. It is because of his kindness. Just remember from last night, lots of rain, a lot of rain came down today. I went to road like Emonews, Wojo said, no rain in town. But you see, we serve a mighty God. Anything that has the hand of God is blessed. And because of his grace that we have this love. The real reason is to keep us cool. So we thank God for his grace, his mercy tonight, for just staying in the showers. We thank Pastor Randy for the opening prayer. Emonews, they are still with us because we wanted this thing to be transmitted. It's not just for us, but what we are sharing is for Dominica and far beyond Dominica. So thank you for being here. For all those who spoke, thank you so very much, Mr. James, passionately, Lennox, Danny, and whatever brother's name, Totos, and all those for the community who spoke. Your words, encouraging words, are powerful. Because what people do not understand is that farming is the lifeblood, has been, and will continue to be that of Dominica. For those who travel for the Wednesday walkers, thank you so very much. Those from the neighboring communities, thank you so very much for being here with us and supporting us. We are in this thing together. We are in this thing together. Farming is Dominica's lifeblood. Don't let anybody fool you. Farming has been and will continue to be. What we want to do is to push it in whatever way that we can. And we trust tonight wasn't a meeting of politics, it's not about that, it's about Dominica. And what we are hoping, that this transmission, what went out from this community, what went out from this resistance square, will help those, the higher-ups, learn from it. It's not a fight we are having, it's just to help us work together for the good of all Dominica. We wish everyone who wants to move out, of course, safe travel, take a time on the road, be careful on the cliffs, and drive cautiously. Make sure your eyes are open. If you feel sleepy, stop and wash your face. If you feel that you want to sleep, take that 2 minutes, just back up and 2 minutes, and get up again and drive. God bless us all. Have a powerful night, a powerful week ahead. Yes, thank you, Mr. Vida. Before, yes, we also have Benefant, Mr. Tad Loader will be signed for us. We also want to thank Mr. Charlie Gaddy who will do wrong there for us and still use Gloucester, Hillary John who built the stage for us. Yes. And Totos for being here with us, the sound system. Thank you very much. Very powerful, very clean. And all the others who make the effort to be there with us. And Mr. George James, Mr. Vidal mentioned why we are a resilient people, as said by Mr. Vanti, but also standing in resistance against the atrocities that happened to us here, brothers and sisters. But we will stand, we're standing our constitutional right, we're exercising our constitutional rights. Thank you very much. See you next year, the same place. You're going to be bigger and better. It's our first time. And we're going to develop it further and have more activities around that day because we must never forget. And they say our theme for today was Salisbury, ahead of the smoke. Thank you very much. God bless you and have a wonderful evening. And as I said, partake in some refreshments with us before you leave.
Good evening, viewers, and thank you for joining us for the first ever celebration of the Salisbury Resistance Anniversary. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for leaving your comments. Thank you for staying with us through this entire celebration, and see you next year.